Hi, I'm Meta Parlikar, and today I'm going to show you how accounts work on the CasperLabs blockchain. During this demo, we will create an account and delegate signing authority to a second key. Then we'll use that second key to transfer token to a third account. You'll see how this feature can enable users to store their master private key safely while using a secondary key for transactions, and then also revoke access to that key. So to get started, I have logged into our Clarity Block Explorer. Anyone can access this. You can log in with your Google account or your GitHub account. It's really easy to create keys. You just hit Create Account Key, and you give it a name, and you save it, and the system will download your public and private key locally. And then you can also go into the faucet, and you can also request tokens. Now that we have created our keys, we'll come over here to the terminal where we will create our transactions to go ahead and start working with these keys. I've shown here some arguments. One argument you'll notice here is this is a public key for the key that we're going to add to the primary account. And this is a public key for an account that we're going to transfer token to, and we're going to transfer 55 token over to this account. And you can see these keys here. If we go back to the account keys, you'll see that this 4EC is the Demo 2 account, and this FC206 is my Demo 3 account. And these transactions are all going to work on this Demo 1 account, and that's the private key, which you won't see on the screen, but you'll see the effects of these changes happening in this account. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and add the key. So I've called the add function here, and you'll see that this is, we're sending a deploy, which is a transaction using the client, to deploy.casperlabs.io, and we're paying for this transaction, and we're signing this transaction with this private key, which is associated with the first account. And we have a deploy hash here, and we'll go to Clarity here, and we'll see that a block has been created. And you see we have a green signal on this block. We can verify the effects of this transaction by coming in here, and you'll notice that at this old block height, this key was by itself. It just had one key that can sign for this account. But if we go here and get the latest block, which is the one we just proposed in this transaction, and we add this to the query, which is the block hash, and we run this query, now you will see that this key 4EC2 has been added to this account, and it also has a weight of 2. And we'll go into weights and thresholds in a different explainer, but for the time being, just know that the weight for this key is 2, which is terrific. Now we can go ahead and use that key to perform an action, and the action we're going to perform is a transfer. And I've prepared my transfer statement here. And so to review this statement, we're sending this to deploy.casperlabs.io. We're deploying a transaction. This is the session that we're sending, and it's a transfer function that we're sending. We're paying for this, and we're signing this with the private key 2. And we're doing this transfer from this account 8B01. So we've authorized key 2 to perform this transfer. And we have a deploy here. We're going to take a look at the blocks here. And there's our deploy. And you'll see it's a green light. And so now if we look at our account key, we should see that the transfer destination was FC206. So we're going to refresh here, and you'll notice that that account went from 210 to 265, so we transferred 55 token into this account. And we did it from this account here. You'll notice that this account also went down because it paid for the transaction as well as transferring the token to this account. And you'll notice that key number 2, that balance wasn't touched at all. Now what we can also do is we can remove the access rights of that key. And this is a great thing you can do if you ever have to recover your keys, heaven forbid if you lose them. So now again, we're sending the same kind of transaction. We're calling the client. We're sending it to deploy.casperlabs.io, which is our DevNet. We're calling here now remove. And we're removing the args, which is the exact same key, 4EC203. And we're signing it with the key from the first account, which means we're going to affect that account by removing that key. And we have a deploy. So we're going to look at the blocks here, and we see that we have a block, and it's green. And now we can take that latest block hash and observe the effects in GraphQL. So now you remember at that other block hash, we see this key here. So now I'm going to drop the latest block hash in here, and we're going to run this query, and you'll notice that the key has disappeared. So now this key is no longer able to perform transactions on behalf of this account. And that is how you can leverage the power of keys and accounts on Casper Labs. Thanks for watching.